So we got a Clarey Test request, and this one's kind of funny because Norman Borlaug, which the test is for, I could just read through. An anonymous repeat customer requested a Clarey Test on the greatest man of the 20th century that most people have never heard of, Norman Borlaug, winner of the Nobel Prize of Economy in 1970 for his Green Revolution that saved billions from starvation. And I did not know anything about this guy, though I patrolled probably at least 100 times Borlaug Hall, which is a building named after Norman Borlaug in St. Paul, because that's where the University of Minnesota, St. Paul, that's where the guy was. And that's where the agriculture, if you go out to the St. Paul campus at the U of M, they got literal farm fields and barns. There's cows. I remember one time cows escaped the barn. We're trying to herd cows back into the barn at 3 a.m. in St. Paul. And then you go to the Minneapolis campus and there's no farm field. So it's kind of a different campus, but a very legit campus. There's legitimate real producers that come from the St. Paul campus. Minneapolis campus, not so much. So I looked up Norman Borlaug. It wasn't until later I found out he did something with genetics of wheat, making crops resistant to disease and plague and famine, and made it that you get a lot higher yield out of fields of crops, and did more to stop starvation than the Peace Corps ever did, or any of the trillions of dollars we sent to Africa. Norman Borlaug, one guy, did more to help feed the world than all you fake, fraudulent, virtue-signaling Peace Corps hippie dipshits. All right, so let's go to Norman Borlaug. Norman Ernest Borlaug, born 1914, died 2009. I didn't know he was alive when I was patrolling his building. Was an American agronomist who led initiatives worldwide that contributed to the extensive increase in agricultural production termed the Green Revolution. Borlaug was awarded multiple honors for his work, including the Nobel Peace Prize, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and the Congressional Gold Medal. Borlaug received his BS in forestry in 1937. Ooh, back in the day, forestry was, it could have maybe been a real degree. Now it's just, I want to go and walk around in the national parks, man. But he is going to be grandfathered in because in 1937, any degree was a good degree. And a PhD in plant pathology and genetics from the University of Minnesota in 1942. Okay, so that's legit. He took up an agriculture research position in CIMMYT in Mexico, where he developed semi-dwarf, high-yield, disease-resistant wheat varieties. During the mid-20th century, Borlaug led the introduction of these high-yielding varieties combined with modern agricultural production techniques in Mexico, Pakistan, and India. I'm glad I remembered it so correctly. As a result, Mexico became a net exporter of wheat by 19... White guys for the win. Just saying. He's a white, just saying. What, I know there was Hitler, but we got Borlaug. Kind of balances out. One guy with innovation and creation, the wonders of technology and capitalism. Was it capitalism? Yes, it was. No, yeah, it was. He turned an entire country to a net import to a net exporter. That's amazing. Between 1950 and 1960, wheat yields nearly doubled in Pakistan and India, greatly improving the food securities of those nations. One guy. Borlaug was often called the father of the Green Revolution and is credited with saving over 1 billion people worldwide from starvation. That is awesome. How do you estimate that? I don't know. But if you could double wheat yields, that's just awesome. Awesome. Better economist than I'll ever be. According to Jan Douglas, executive assistant to the president of the World Food Prize Foundation, the source of this number is Greg's Easterbrook's 1997 article, Forgotten Benefactor of Humanity. The article states that the form of agriculture that Borlaug preaches may have prevented 1 billion deaths. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1970 in recognition for his contributions to world peace through increasing food supply. Lineage applies methods of increase in Asia and Africa. All right. Cresco, Iowa. I don't know where that is. So he has a real degree. We'll just call it a real degree. PhD, and then he started doing research. Now, here's where the problem, his career is a microbiologist at DuPont. Oh, so he went right away. Planned to doing research, however, found a pack. He tried to enlist in the military, was rejected under wartime labor regulations. His lab was converted into conduct research in the armed forces. Developed glue which could withstand salt water. Imperial Japanese control Guadalcanal. Administration's primary goal for Mexican age augmenting industrialization. So he went down there as a consultant, basically. He worked in nonprofits, but these nonprofits did things, which I know is crazy for you nonprofit people now. Your guys, most nonprofits today, your goal is just to perpetuate the problem so you can keep getting money to treat the problem. You don't want to cure it because then you guys have to get real jobs. Am I right? Of course I'm right. I know how it works. But this guy actually, he retired officially in 1979. Oh, he stayed down in Mexico, but remained as a consultant to the CIMMYT. In addition to taking up charitable and educational roles, he continued to be involved in plant research. 1981, Borlaug became founder of World Cultural Council. 84, teaching, conducting research at Texas A&M. Distinguished professor. Remained at A&M until his death. He worked till he was dead. I'm gonna give it. So what? Not a stupid degree. Worked till he was dead. Real world working experience. Did he come from wealth? That would be. Great-grandchild Norwegian immigrants. Ole, of course, you got to have an Ole in there. You can't have an Ole and Sven joke without an Ole and Sven joke. And Solvig emigrated to Dane County. Oh, that's where Madison is. Norwegian. Of course, they were Lutheran. He was born to Henry Oliver and Clara on his grandparents' farm. First of 4 children. Hunting, fishing, raising. Oh, he worked as a kid on the farm. He attended a one-teacher, one-room school owned by Norman Heritage. Okay. I didn't come from wealth. His dad was a farmer. Here he is as a wrestler. Okay, man, look at that matted hair. He had some hair. Look at that hair. Boy, I hope I have hair like that when I'm old. Well, I worked in the Civilian Conservation Corps. This guy is cool. Yeah, and the hair went away, didn't it? Look at his old picture there. All right, didn't major in stupid stuff. Real world working experience. Didn't come from wealth. Worked till he was dead, which is what a real man does. He gets a perfect score of 0. Should he run for office? Yes, but unfortunately he's dead. I don't know. He did way more than any politician ever did, just simply, revolutionizing multiple economies, dragging billions of people out of poverty and starvation. Now, he did more than any president or world leader ever could. So he absolutely should have ran for office. But I don't think that would be his most effective position. And would I like to have a beer with him? Hell yeah, I'd like to have a beer with him. Absolutely. So Norman Borlaug joined some musicians, rappers, and gangsters, both gangstas and gangsters, and some other amazing people with a perfect score. All right, there we go. Legend medal. I'm a Norwegian Lutheran, and this triggers. Is there any other kind of Norwegian than Lutheran? All right, we'll see you guys later. Toodles.